apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has? But that's... wonderful! Oh, thank Joey! My dear husband is back!
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the Mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The Mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around. A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love. Rhythmic gymnastics, first place.
Excuse me, please.
Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham. May I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman just now?
But that was sir's wife, Madam Songbird.
Yes, of course. My wife.
Is sir quite feeling himself?
It's fine. I've just been having a difficult few days.
How serendipitous that the well-being Mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom?
I guess I am.
That would be the Honorable Mentor Alonso, Senior Officer at the Ministry of Well-being. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were one or two anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city.
Just some minor things, then.
Consumption patterns, biosigns, indication of physical existence.
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
This Mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-being is always concerned, sir, with a citizen's well-being.
Well-being?
That's right, sir. A citizen's health and happiness, their relationships and social life, all of the utmost importance to the Ministry. He might also inquire if sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe sir's 2-week-long work, poll and social hiatus may have raised some concerns. Just be yourself, sir, and you will be fine.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
You... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating. I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
I am sorry, sir, but the window controls are in Madame Songbird's room. I would not wish to disturb the Mentor while he is with her. Her meeting is apparently of the highest priority.
I see. We shouldn't disturb her then.
Indeed, sir. However, if the air temperature is a concern, might Sir consider dispensing with his coat?
It is rather warm.
And pungent, sir.
Tell me about the Mentor.
As a high-ranking official of the Ministry of Well-being, he is here, I am sure, to evaluate the well-being of this household.
Well-being?
Health, social participation, work fulfillment, the usual, sir.
Tell me about that woman.
Woman? Can Sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madame Songbird. Clearly, Sir is not feeling quite himself today. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever Sir desires.
Can you move things with your mind?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know. Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
The trees in the gap weren't as pretty, but at least they were real. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. They were photochemical prints, taken using an old-style film camera. The retro technology had managed to blend songbirds seamlessly into the fake backgrounds. The photography was impressive, but the subject didn't look happy. The pictures in the apartment told a sad story. A blissful romance that had soured with time. If I was going to pass myself off as Graham, I needed to know all about him. His work, his social standing, and his health prior to his demise would be a good start. Perhaps I'd find more on his personal terminal. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out. I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them. Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had made some headway, but I still needed to learn about Graham's work and his state of health. The calendar showed today as a holiday. Aspiration Day. Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I wondered what exactly Graham's role was. A sword? The blade was cracked. The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside. I wondered if Graham self-medicated. The droids who stare at goats. A classic. So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? I knew enough about Graham's status and profession. I wondered what his health was like before he died. There was a boot print. Curious. A box had been hidden outside the window. If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased, adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know. Give me a checkup.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning correctly. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. Please return them to your nearest medical waste facility. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the third cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed at this terminal.
That's probably for the best.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough. If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Well-being.
Oh, darling, don't joke with the mentor. We all know you work at the Ministry of Comfort.
Now, Mr. Grundy, let's be serious now. Here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great. Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling?
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham, but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back. Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap! What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo. Songbird, I'm sorry
For what?
that your husband is dead.
Hey, win some, lose some.
That's pretty harsh.
Look, stranger. You told me your secret, so I'll tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was. If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
What's with the Alonso guy?
Guy? I believe you're referring to Mentor Alonso from the Ministry of Well-Being. He's a high-ranking official. And we've just lied straight to his face.
Quite the team, huh?
If he knew what's really going on, I dread to think how far my kudos would plummet.
And what about me?
Arrested, deported, I don't know, but not important.
Tell me more about Graham.
Why do you want to know?
I think he might have been involved in something.
What do you mean?
I came to Union City from the Gap because I was investigating a mysterious...
Oh, for Joey's sake, not you too. Blah, blah, conspiracy, blah, blah, giant dog. Graham was the perfect husband until he started getting crazy ideas. Why couldn't he just have an affair like a normal person?
What were you saying about kudos?
Were you born yesterday?
Let's just say I'm new here.
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example, stay happy, and you get kudos.
Which you... spend?
Well, kinda, but not really. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city. Simple.
So kudos is... bad?
Aren't you listening? Lower. Lower is better.
That's all for now.
Yeah, bye. Hey, don't touch that. Open windows. I can't even right now.
If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box. Chipworth?
Good afternoon, sir.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
The mentor, Alonzo, seemed to be arguing with someone. The plants needed watering badly. Here you go. Whatever was in the box, Graham had clearly not wanted anyone to find it. Inside was a small glass lens. It had deep cuts scored across its surface. But that wasn't all. Tucked beneath was a photograph. A picture of a stalker. A child's face pressed against the window. Suddenly I realized that it wasn't just Milo. It was clear that multiple children were being taken into the city, and somehow Graham was connected to it. I swapped the lens for the broken one from the lockbox. The pictures were all of Graham's work. The HoloLens now projected fragmented data. A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing. Dave Dingo. Kevin Kangaroo. Carl Koala. Jasmine. Excuse me, Songbird?
Hello, husband?
Could Graham have had anything to do with kidnapping?
For both our sakes, I hope not.
Bye, Songbird.
Yeah, bye.
In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on. The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. Excuse me, Songbird?
Hello, husband?
Who's this contact you mentioned?
Bad news, as far as my kudos level is concerned.
What do you mean?
Graham was always rambling on about this hacker friend of his. Had a daft name. Leet, I think.
Any idea where I could find Leet?
Probably somewhere up top, with the other degenerates. If I were you, I'd stay away.
Are you a collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kitties. Even the limited edition Mama Bear from 5 years back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy? Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked. What's a Mama Bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies. Unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
What does Bartleby Bilby look like?
Bartleby is a Bilby. Adorable, long ears. Like a bandicoot and a rabbit all rolled into one. At least he was, before he went missing.
Bye, Songbird.
Yeah, bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why. The device was now on, but with the screen broken, I'd need to find another way to get at the data. I wondered why Graham had taken a children's toy.
Hello there. I'm Mama Bear.
Hi.
Mama Bear looks after all the cuddly kitties. Are you looking for one of my children?
I'm looking for Bartleby Bilby.
Don't worry, child. Look at my tummy to find your missing friend.
I swapped the lens back to the original one. The image being displayed on the holoplinth had changed. The plinth was showing the toy's tracking data. All I needed to do was locate the area code E1594. Find the tracker, find Leet.
Ahem.
Excuse me, Songbird?
Hello, husband?
Any idea where the area code E1594 refers to?
E1594? What would I know about an old area code?
Old?
The monopod system has taken care of transport for years.
You sure you don't know where to find E1594?
The monopod system has taken care of transport for years.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
Excuse me, please.
The seal had been vandalized. Poor Joey.
Dear me, a terrible situation. Very troubling indeed.
Mentor, given your experience, your input here would be greatly appreciated.
Orana, isn't it? You strike me as a fine young officer of the Ministry of Well-Being. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I'm flattered, sir.
Your record is exemplary, I believe.
I do my best, sir.
I'm sure you do. So please, don't let me down. Fix this mess.
Mess? You mean the girl?
The whole untidy situation.
Yes, sir.
At girl! Keep a smile on your face. After all, it's Aspiration Day, isn't it? The happiest day of the year.
I'll take care of it, sir.
I know you will. By the way, a call to pest control wouldn't go amiss.
Of course, sir.
Meanwhile, I shall isolate this area until this unfortunate incident has been resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your advice.
We're all here to learn from each other. Take care now.
Miss! Pardon me, miss!
Who, me? Hey! You can see forever up here! You know, be free!
Miss! You have to be careful!
Careful or careless? I know which one I want to be!
Why don't you come down, yes? Miss Dijon, is that right? Raquel Dijon.
Yeah! That's... me. I think...
Raquel!
Raquel? Did you say Raquel?
You need to come down.
What? Where am I? Oh no! Help! Help!
Hearing her name had triggered a total change in the girl's behavior. I needed to find a way to get her down before she fell. Excuse me,
Sir?
what's going on?
Just a citizen in trouble, all under control.
Why is she up there?
I don't know. I'm not sure she does either.
Why is the monopod locked down?
To keep people happy, sir.
How?
Well, this situation has the potential to be unpleasant. So we keep the situation contained until it can be resolved.
But I'd really like to go somewhere.
A little patience, sir, would be appreciated.
Anything I can do to help?
No need, sir. All under control.
Really? I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks.
From that height, the girl wouldn't fare much better than the can. Are you okay?
No! I don't know how I got up here!
Raquel! Raquel Dijon! Don't panic! I'm from the Ministry of Well-Being.
How can we help?
Nothing to see here, sir.
I suggest you go back inside and enjoy some screen-based entertainment.
Excuse me? I'd like to make a complaint.
Please, both of you, I'm a welfare officer. I know how to deal with this kind of problem, I just need to check the negotiation protocol.
Well, thank goodness the Ministry is on this. It's all very distracting.
How did you get up there?
I don't know! Please! I'm frightened!
She climbed the outside of the building. Astounding agility, by the way. Most impressive.
I don't remember!
Bravo, miss!
Sit tight, we'll soon have you down.
Can you see any way down from there?
No! And everything's wet now thanks to that robot!
Anyone got any ideas?
Yes, I do. I have an idea.
Go on.
Never use a simile when a metaphor suggests itself.
What?
I'm in the middle of composing an Aspiration Day poem, but my lexiconic cupboard is bare, so to speak. Hence the requirement for...
Wait, is this idea about your poem?
Well, yes. You asked if anyone had an idea. You were not specific to the context.
Don't worry, we'll get you down safely.
Please stop making promises. Who's the welfare officer here?
It was a hand scanner.
Water refill complete.
Raquel!
Help! Please!
Think you can get on the robot when it passes?
I could try. But what if...
We'll catch you. You can do it.
I rather doubt she can.
Can't you try and be more encouraging?
You have a reasonably good eye for aesthetics!
Thank you?
Now, grab on tight. We'll be right underneath you.
You'll be fine.
Human grip strength is famously reliable. Only in short bursts.
Okay, here goes.
Water tank depleted. Down.
How do you feel, Raquel? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that's all sorted. Shall I call a pod for her?
I've got it from here, thank you. Raquel, what were you even doing up there?
I don't know. I don't really remember anything.
The girl looked glad to be back on solid ground. Excuse me?
Mr. Grundy. Oh, Mr. Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Bravo, Mr. Grundy. Your actions in this situation were sublime, albeit unconventional. The local noise levels have already returned to normal, and the building will soon sparkle again.
I'm more concerned about the girl. Is she gonna be okay?
Yes, blah blah blah, and all that. Officer, wouldn't you say that Mr. Grundy's actions today warrant a kudos boost,
Of course. Thank you for the suggestion.
Tarquin, miss.
Orana. Orana Newblood.
Yeah, like the guy said. Graham Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Raquel. Is she always like that?
What do you mean?
Well, I met her earlier and she seemed like a totally different person.
She's been through a big ordeal. Nothing that a trip to the reflection spa won't sort out.
How is the girl doing?
She'll be fine. This sort of trauma is best handled at the reflection spa.
What is the reflection spa?
What is the... Are you feeling okay, Graham? Everyone this side of the industrial level has heard of reflections.
Oh, you mean that reflection spa. It's been a long day.
Next, you'll be asking me to tell you about this Joey guy.
No, I'm familiar. Does the location E1594 mean anything to you?
Well, E1594? That's just an area code based on the old map system. Totally obsolete. That system hasn't been used for years.
E1594 was an obsolete code. There had to be a way of finding that location. So, do you work here?
I'm an officer for the Ministry of Wellbeing.
You often have to talk girls off high ledges?
My first one.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
Will she be in trouble for the graffiti?
Well, no real harm done. The droid will clean it up, eventually. That said, her kudos rating will take a hit.
All because she defaced Joey?
People loved Joey, and what he did for us.
Joey was my friend. We did so much together.
Well, he might be gone, but he's not forgotten. You can find out about our savior at the Museum of New History.
You mentioned I could find out about Joey in a museum?
Yes. The Museum of New History has exhibits about how he transformed the city. I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to learn about him and his legacy.
A museum dedicated to Joey? He'd be proud of that for sure.
Well, it's not all Joey. They have a special exhibit about the previous administration. Old technology, maps, that sort of thing. My advice, though, is to avoid dwelling on the past. Anyway, taking in some culture is good for you. Find it at the Piazza, if you get the chance.
I'm on the trail of a missing kid called Milo. I think he's somewhere in Union City.
That shouldn't be difficult. Any Greta terminal will be able to find him via U-chip.
No, that won't help. He was brought here from the Gap.
That's not possible.
I assure you.
Where did you say you worked, Mr. Grundy?
That'd be the Ministry of Comfort.
I suggest you concentrate on your work and leave well-being issues to the appropriate ministry.
I guess I should get going.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help.
I suppose I should thank you too.
No problem. You take care.
You too, Mr. Grundy. If you need any well-being support, just ask for me at Greta Terminal. Orana Newblood. Come on, Raquel. Let's get you to the spa. You'll be feeling better in no time. No need to worry, Raquel. You're safe now. Happy faces all round, right? In fact, this calls for a celebration. It is Aspiration Day after all.
Oh, goodness. Is it?
All day. And you know what would be the best end to a day like this? A trip to the Reflection Spa. I'll pull a string or two, and we'll get you straight to the front of the line.